Hey everybody, it's your girl Sherry. Welcome back to another episode of Alleged Ashley Podcast. Listen, today is going to be kind of a Sherry's quick snip. As you see, I am not joined by my Bravo bestie. I am out at our other location. A while back, me and my husband, we have a second home that we are in the process of developing. It was in a wooded lot near water. We're having it cleared. We have the home here. It's beautiful, but I don't have the best Wi-Fi. So I will not be going live. I will do pre-recorded and hopefully the sound will be okay. But I wanted to hop on and give you guys my thoughts on Real Housewives of Potomac. And so that's what we're doing tonight. Now, if you're new here, welcome. Over here, we do reality TV recaps and occasionally, so we're going to get into it more regularly, we do pop culture segments. If you have come over here and that is your jam, you like that content, go ahead and subscribe and give this video the thumbs up. Share with the masses, and always leave us comments because we enjoy reading every one of them, and we definitely try our best to make sure we respond to them all. Now, what did you guys think of Real Housewives of Potomac Season 10, Episode 1? Title was Second Bloom. For me, let's see. It was good. It was not a flop. It was a formidable premiere. I thought that they came out not as hot as like a Salt Lake, but Salt Lake's first episode was mediocre. It didn't get good till episode 2. So to be fair, it's a good start. And we actually get started with fast forwarding to September 2nd, where Karen Huger has gotten released. And you notice you don't actually see Karen. And child, let me tell you something. When you get released from jail, prison, whatever, you can't have your wig, you can't have your weave. You're coming out in your cornrows or your natural or however you do your hair, which is fine. But we all know Karen wasn't going to be filmed like that. But what we do get is we see her getting picked up. We do hear audio of her, an emotional her, hear her voice, and it's good to know that she's out, which rewinds us 6 months prior to March of this year, where the ladies are coming over to Giselle's house, and they're going to gather to talk about their feelings about Karen actually getting locked up. Now, y'all, this scene, I really felt like gave a reflective moment, because even though, like, for instance, say Dr. Wendy, who after the way Karen kind of dissed her on the reunion, kind of felt like, they're not really friends, or not the friends that she thought they were. Even everyone felt genuinely bad that Karen was behind bars. They were worried for her. There were a couple of jabs, like, I think it was Ashley saying that she hopes Karen is able to be in the AARP wing of the jail. A little jab at her age. But no, it's just a reflection. And y'all, it was a lot. I can imagine as her castmates, and like, I think her and Giselle have had their moments. They were actually friends, that it had to be deep to take in, because who wants to see? I didn't want to see that. I mean, what she did was wrong. And I think it was Giselle that said, as much as I hate that she's locked up, if this can prevent her from, getting what is she, 4th or 5th DUI? That would be, she had 4, I think. So, if this can prevent her from getting yet another DUI, and then y'all, let's think about it further past that, possibly this time hurting herself, hurting someone, or even worse, y'all. So there are consequences to your actions. And, Karen did 6 months, and I know she has probation and some other things that she's going to have to do still. So it's not quite over for Karen. I think we'll see her in season 10. I don't know. I don't think so. And if we do, it'll be very much towards the end. But honey, the ladies get off of Miss Huger and hop on to Stacey. How y'all feeling off Stacey Rusch? Because I am conflicted. Because it started during the reunion. Y'all know she looked crazy and had us all side-eyeing her about the thing with TJ. Now, what she tried to accomplish there, I don't know. Because I don't think she needed that fake relationship to get on the show. Though Keiarna does throw some shade and say, listen, it's not like, you haven't tried to get on the show for some time. And, Stacey responds, look, I've been on TV for years, and she was on QVC. They do a flashback showing her on. But ladies, let's be clear. It's different than being on QVC. Different demographic, different popularity on being on QVC versus Bravo's. There's that, okay? And then, it's just, she came on last season, and I know I said it. Joey, when we talk about Potomac, initially said that she was a breath of fresh air. She was kind of like the comic relief. She had this whole spiel, like she was like the prim and proper one. And I don't know what you mean by that, and I don't know what to do with you ladies. And I don't. It was a lot. Only to find out that perhaps, looking like that she paid him or offered to pay him to come on the show to be her love interest. Okay. And, Stacey, one thing about Stacey, I will give her though. So when the ladies were confronting her, she's basically sticking to her story. She's very good at flipping it. Like, she's like, what I've done is, haven't you ever been humiliated by a man? Which she particularly, y'all, Stacey's getting good at throwing that shade though. She particularly shoots that shot at Giselle, because we all know that Pastor Jamal Bryant had Giselle looking crazy in them streets. So her shoot back of, we've all have been there. I know you know what it's like to be humiliated by a man, and does. But Giselle's like, honey, don't put me in this mess. So she gets mad, and basically she storms off. And we get to see Stacey do the storm off not once, not twice, but 3 times in this episode. So, okay. So nobody goes after her. Like I said, all the ladies are there. And I didn't mention everybody that was there, but it was Giselle, Ashley, Wendy, Keiarna, okay. And so she storms off. She's mad. And that's when Giselle and Ashley dropped the bomb that while they were at Essence Fest, they were sitting at a table with a well-known actress that shall not be named. They did not name her. That is best friends with TJ. And that we're giving them the tea and showing them the documents where TJ is in fact suing Stacey. And he's suing Stacey for half of her Real Housewives of Potomac paycheck. Now, call me crazy, but I don't know. But I don't think that Stacey would agree to giving that man half her Real Housewives of Potomac paycheck. But who's to say? And that may be up for interpretation. And allegedly, they saw all the paperwork, but did not have any record of it at the time. Okay. So, all right. Our next scene is we go over to Kay's new condo. Y'all, we find out that she has broke up with that man. And I can't say I am upset about it, because Greg was not it for her. He made her look crazy last season. You could tell that she kind of would dim her light when she was around him. I just don't feel like. Now, I don't know that they're done, because she's in her new condo. It's very cute. Her mother is there. And they're talking about the fact that after some reflecting, she decided, no, this wasn't for her. So, and Greg didn't really take her serious until she moved out, got her condo, and he realized, okay, yeah, she's gone. And so he surprises her with a trip to Jamaica where they attempt to talk and, maybe try to work things out. At this point, though, she's still in her own condo. They're still, maybe working through it, but it's not a thing right now. And her mom just really tells her, I really don't want to see you like that or in a relationship like that. She's a strong, independent woman. And there were times that you could see last season that, she didn't present herself as confidently when she was around him. It's almost like she was on eggshells. And so good for UK. Moving on. From there, we see the scene where Stacey is on a date with the mystery man. Child, it turns out it's her ex-husband. I cannot pronounce his name, y'all, but it's Thiemo, honey. That's her husband. She lets us know that they had gone on a Christmas vacation, okay? And they had taken Arabella, the daughter. Don't you just love how she says her name? But it was when they were on that vacation that they found out that the divorce was final. Miraculously, when they found out the divorce was final, that is when they made the decision that maybe, just maybe, there was still something there. Okay. So at dinner, he orders for her. She makes the comment, why are we just keep looking at each other with googly eyes? It's very corny, y'all. But I mean, the point of it is, child, she's trying to get back with her ex. Which brings us to the next theme. So Ashley decides, because of the big blow up that they had at Giselle's, unfortunately, the two of them have bonded through their divorce process, the fact that they have the biracial children, and they had actually become friends. And so Ashley wanted to give her another chance to come clean. She wanted to figure out what was going on, because we also get another bombshell at the boutique. Now, Ashley is planning what she calls a second bloom ball. Well, she ain't had no first one. However, for lack of better words, it's a divorce party. She is officially divorced from Michael Darby. Y'all, can we get a hand clap for that? I mean, what did it take her? Like, I don't know, 4 years, 5? I mean, it was to the point that Annie Cohen was getting annoyed when he would ask her, look, what is your status? And she would play coy. You're either going to divorce him or you're not. I think she was holding out for the right settlement, and she got it. She's officially divorced. And so she's going to have a party to celebrate. And part of her second bloom party, she kind of is in with the Cinderella type theme. So she wants the ladies to wear like nice gowns. And when we get to that set, I mean, they had it so beautifully decorated. So y'all, if y'all hear something in the background, like I said, I'm at my second property and we are very close to a base. So you're going to, they say the sound of freedom is flying. And so, yeah, you may hear some of the aircraft flying nearby. However, nonetheless, I'm going to keep going. And so they meet up at a boutique to try on dresses, to get ideas for what they're going to wear at the second bloom party, because Ashley has invited all the ladies. And at this point, she asked Stacey if she is even in fact divorced. And part of the reason that she does that is because we all know divorces are public record. You can go to any register of deeds and you can pull that up. The same way you can marriage records, birth records, and the like. So messy as she is, y'all, she had a point. She showed on the flashback her putting in her name. Her documentation comes up as being divorced. She puts in Stacey's and there's nothing. No such person found, no results found. And Stacey kind of looks off put, like, what are you even saying? Every divorce isn't the same, which is not true, girl. And so she comes at her again about letting her know about the actress and the documents also about TJ suing her. And she's just trying to, in this thing, to get Stacey to own up to anything. And y'all, Stacey gives her the clap back, and it was a good one. She said, look, instead of Googling me and my divorce, you need to Google a vocal cord coach. Y'all, I can't talk. But she said, this is so good, I got to get it right now. She said, instead of Googling me about my divorce, you need to be Googling a vocal coach. Because y'all, if y'all have been seeing the clips of her with that Roberta Flack song, oh, and it didn't even do that, y'all. When she was singing at the GNA event, Ashley, baby, you can use some help with the vocal cords. So Stacey got you on that one. But again, Stacey is holding strong, y'all. She's just not admitting anything, and she storms off again out the boutique. So now we have a scene where we see Kay. She's going over to meet her friend, Angel Massey. So I want to talk to you guys about the new castmates. We have, we all know Monique Samuels is going to be coming on at some point as a friend of the show. But we have two new castmates. So on the left is Kay's friend, Angel Massey, and she is married to an NFL player. They are from the DMV area, and after her husband retired, they have now moved back. And her and Kay have known each other for years. We also get to meet on the right Tia Glover, who is Nigerian British. She is a real estate pro. She's giving us the prim and proper that Stacey tried to last season, but now we're wondering if, that was all an act. So there's that. But she does go over to Angel's house, and, Angel's got the husband, the kids, jury's out yet. I can't say yet whether I know they're going to be a good fit or not, but I like what I see so far. She's giving housewife, okay? And at this point, Kay kind of tells her that she had some issues with Dr. Wendy. They were both going to be at NAACP event that Kay was going to be a sponsor there. And she told Dr. Wendy that, and Dr. Wendy was speaking, but she didn't say that. She just, gave her moment and said, good for you, whatever. And Kay said when they got there, she was surprised to see that, she didn't tell her that. Y'all, maybe unpopular opinion, and slide in the comments and you let me know. But I kind of felt like Kay was reaching on her accusations on Dr. Wendy. Now, don't get me wrong. Dr. Wendy can be dismissive. But I didn't see it in last season, and I just didn't get it off of that comment, off of what Kay said, but Angel kind of throws shade. She actually knows Dr. Wendy from college. Dr. Wendy's a little older than her. She was coming in as a freshman as Dr. Wendy was leaving. I get a sense that they're sorority sisters because she made the comment that she was a roommate roommate of her big sister. So if you know anything about sororities, they do have big sisters. And so they have some history. They at least know of each other, which is another interesting layer. And she basically tries to give off that Kay should confront her, and that, she believes it because she feels like Wendy gives off those vibes, those kind of dismissive vibes, or like, I think I'm better than you vibes. I don't know. Have I heard that? Yes. There's a YouTuber out now that's, putting a story out about how she was a Dr. Wendy stan, and Dr. Wendy kind of at an event called her mean, and then kind of dissed her by saying, I don't watch your channel, my people do. I don't know. That's the thing you have to check out. But I just say in this moment, from what I saw, I can't give Kay that. So we get ready for the ball now, and everyone is there. This is the first glimpse we get of Tia Glover because she is Giselle's +1. And we get this grand entrance from Ashley. On the fence on the gown. I mean, I love the fluff of it all. I think it was definitely giving Cinderella, but the green, it just, I don't know. It wasn't giving. But at any rate, she makes her grand entrance and explains to everyone what the second Bloom Ball was about, which, like we said, kind of like a new beginning for her in this season of her life as, a divorced woman that's coming to her own. She's feeling confident. She's got all that behind her. She's enjoying her life. And this is what this party's all about. This was also the party Kay had every intention, she did, to confront Dr. Wendy on, feeling like she kind of was shaded her at the NAACP event. And Wendy said, and I think that's when I kind of thought, I don't know, Kay. She said, look, yeah, you told me, but what was I supposed to do when you told me that you were going to be a sponsor there? As a friend, I didn't think I should steal your shine and be like, oh, okay, that's cute, but I'm going to be a speaker. I kind of agree with Dr. Wendy. Y'all let me know your thoughts. I don't know. Did you think that Kay was right, that Wendy was probably trying to shade her, little girl her, be dismissive? Or do you agree with Dr. Wendy and you feel like, look, she just didn't want to steal your shine. She just didn't want to take your moment? Because to me, then that would be like, oh, girl, you think that's something? I'm speaking. You know what I'm saying? At any rate, y'all, the showdown starts with Ashley and Stacey, where Stacey asked again, why are you doing all this? Child, but the biggest thing we find out, and it started at the house of Giselle's, with all that prim and properness, Stacey's breath is stinking. Now, girl, as put together as you look when you leave your home, you need to swish with some mouthwash or do something. Because not only did Giselle say it, Ashley said, you got Angel who has, no skin in the game. She said she met her breath before she met her. Y'all, that is horrible. On Watch What Happens Live, Andy had to ask Giselle, in fact, does her breath stink? Giselle yet again said, yes, God, it stinks. Stacey, baby, get that checked. You don't ever want to be caught out there like that. No, that's not a good look. BravoCon is coming up. You don't want to be meeting fans and talking to people and your breath is hot. Let's get that worked on later. All right. Okay. At any rate, so they go back and forth. She's just saying, look, you're in this group lying. Why can't you take accountability for anything? Which I kind of think is rich coming from a Giselle or an Ashley. Giselle has not taken accountability for anything she's done, some of which have been very mean, very foul, like how she accused Candace's husband of, trying to push up on her or made her feel uncomfortable in that room. Foul. Ashley has done things. Did she take accountability or not enough, in my opinion, when that whole fight broke out where she brought her friend that we all know as Sesame Street, which is why Kay is even on the show. Kay jumped in there and got the gash on her head. I'm not saying that's the only reason Kay's on. I'm saying that God, it was the least Bravo could do. You know what I'm saying? So accountability holding on this end, I don't know. But at any rate, let me just say this. Stacey, it is not a look. It's not a good look. It is not a good look for you to be on our screens because it's giving that you weren't divorced all along. You and TJ made this pact. There even are rumors that the husband was in on it, which is why he was okay with it because TJ presented himself as a man that is not into women at all. It was ridiculous. She seemingly, and it'll come out, and they allude to that she lied about also getting a cannabis company that is in competition with Happy Eddie. I mean, it's just a bad look all around, Stacey. That is not how you secure yourself another season. Now, I know some people say, hey, we don't like the pile up, and I get it because that seems to be a recurring theme. You know, it's one person, the cast just jumps on them, and, you know, until they get a resolve or they run them off the show. And I'm not saying I'm down for that either. But what I am saying is she better take some accountability for something. We want answers, Stacey, and we want them now. This looks crazy. This is giving your plane in our face, okay? So more fighting ensues, honey. And, you know, she calls Ashley messy, which spot on. She calls her a messy devil, and she calls her an imp. Y'all, I don't know. That's pretty much how it ended. She ends up, you know, they just go back and forth. And, you know, it ends on that note. We get nothing out of Stacey in episode 1. I don't know. You guys put in the comments, do you think she's lying? I happen to think so. I know the TJ thing was a fake. Whether her and her husband were ever divorced, if the divorce was final, I don't know. I kind of think no. I honestly think not. You know, I don't feel like she had to do all that to get on the show. I don't understand it. So I'm going to need her to fess up to something. You know, otherwise she's losing ground with me. Last season, I liked her until the reunion. I told you when I started giving her the side eye. But neither here nor there. So for a premiere, I gave it a out of a 0 to 10. I'm just going to give it an even 5. It was it's a start. It's a start, and we're going to see how we feel about the newbies. Y'all let me know what you thought, and wait in the comments. Asking you all to join me and my Bravo bestie Joey back here Thursday night. I probably will be back in my regular studio, so we won't have so many sound issues and things of that sort. However, I may be here, so I hope that we can get all of that worked out. But as always, thank you so much for watching, and come on back on Thursday when we will be recapping Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. All right. Good night.